Hello and welcome to another OmniEd Brief. My name is Sean Smith and I'm going to visit with you just for a few minutes here about the use of digital tools in formative feedback or formative assessment. Now, there's a bit of a silver lining when it comes to the use of digital tools for progress monitoring or formative assessment. See, in the online hybrid world, which many of us are living in, we want that immediacy when it comes to not only access to assessment tools, but access to that assessment data. And oftentimes, being able to actually collect that data, score that data, connect that over to our learners, that can be a lot of lift. That can take a lot of time, take a lot of effort. But in the digital world and digitizing some of these aspects can really open up a lot of doors. And honestly, I think post-COVID will be something we'll continue using. So with the thought in mind, first of all, let's talk a few minutes about progress monitoring tools that are digital. And we'll pop over to this website real quick. And this is a website that's available for free. It's off the National Center on Intensive Interventions. And real briefly, folks, it organizes things off of a legend, confidence evidence, and disaggregated data available, data unavailable, etc. It organizes it under reading, mathematics, and spelling, across grade level. And then when you scroll down here, it organizes the title of the actual assessment, it tells you the area it focuses on, grade level. And then for our information, probably usability, how long does it take, what type of scoring is available, etc., etc. Now I mentioned this data point because this progress monitoring tool lists a variety of different progress monitoring tools out there. So it itself is a tool to tell us about tools. And yet our content management systems and our learning management systems offer a variety of different tools for us to use, that not only for us to assess individuals, but us to understand the assessment data that we're collecting. So very quickly, of course, there's IXL and other systems out there that are content management systems that do everything from vocabulary to spelling to mathematic assessment. They provide lots of dashboards that we can manipulate data, organize data, share data, visualize data, and of course a variety of different ways to visualize it. Everything from showing a trend line for an individual student and connecting about where they're progressing for, are they meeting that aim line, to a variety of different ways to share data with maybe our students in terms of data walks, but also to our colleagues, to the families we're serving, and anyone in between. Now, to illustrate it, I'm going to select one tool, and that's Google Forms. It sits in an LMS, Google Classroom, quite popular amongst K through 12 educators, and many of us are using it. Now, as we know, Google Forms offers a lot of different flexibility in terms of usability, access. It's kind of a one-stop shop. And with that in mind, there's a number of different tools out there that offer support. And this is a great YouTube video about how to create and use Google Forms for quizzes. Now, with that in mind, I wanted to kind of reinforce a few things before we go off into the how-to elements. And that is, first of all, we can set up a Google Form that sits in Google Classroom for whole students, but we can personalize it for the individual student and anyone in between. We can organize it for questions, we can organize it for quizzes. And inside the question itself, we can organize it as text, we can put in images, we can put in video, and a variety of other ways to be able to feature for the learning style of the individual and how they connect. In addition, we can customize the backgrounds and the themes that contextualize the question, contextualize the content, allow the individual to better understand what we're trying to ask. Furthermore, the settings allow us to allow for an automatic testing where they complete the test, automatically it's graded, it's available to the individual with what they understand, what they got right, what they got wrong, etc., etc. But we can also embed reinforcement with unique directions. We could offer more accessibility. We can shuffle the questions depending upon the individual. We can also, as I mentioned a moment before, allow for multiple ways to respond. We can select images. We can use video to contextualize things and then be asking questions. We can use check marks, multiple choice, short essays, a variety of different things. And again, with the automatic grading, the students can immediately see what they missed, immediately see what they did well, be able to get that reinforced aspect, which tends to engage a learner, and of course, point values, embedded feedback, and the list goes on. Now, Google Classroom, or Google Forms in Google Classroom, is just one of many examples. Of course, Seesaw, Nearpod, Kahoots, and others offer a variety of these features, offer a variety of these tools, and equally important, allow for that formative feedback to be able to be sitting in a dashboard for us to be able to visit with, share with our students, share with our other teachers, share with the parents and family members at home. So there was a brief overview of digital tools for formative assessment. There's a number of other things we'll explore under this assessment umbrella. And come on back and visit with us later on for some of these additional details. Great.